Joe with Body Buddies, and today I'm going to take you through a delt workout. There's three parts of your delts. We've got the anterior, the lateral, and then we've got the posterior. It's important to train all three so that you get a nice rounded calf. This is important whether you're trying to build, whether you're trying to just tone up. So take some of these exercises and apply them to you. On the upright rows on the cable machine, there's a few things I want you to really make sure you do. Number one, stand feet together. You're going to ignite more of your core. Secondly, pay attention to your grip. They have shown in studies that the wider out your grip is, the further out on the lateral head you're going to hit, whereas the closer in your grip is, the more you're going to engage your trapezius and your rhomboid muscles. So just be aware of that. But number one thing is to seek to feel how it is on your body. Everyone's different. Secondly, before you ever lift, most people are going to be coming up like this. I want you to roll your shoulders back. Think of your shoulder blades digging into your rib cage. Head goes up. So, here we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to roll those shoulders back, keeping my head up and focusing on my shoulder blades pinning down into my rib cage. See how my knees are slightly bent, helping me engage my core, keeping my back straight. Focusing on pushing your shoulders down as your elbows come up. It sounds really counterintuitive, but that's what helps create a longer neck. So now we have the dumbbell 90-degree lateral raise. Once again, focusing on shoulders down, neck up, nice and tall. Especially focus on pulling your chin back. A lot of people tend to dip their chin, and what that does is that engages the traps too much. So focus on long neck. Here we have an angled lateral raise. Look at my elbow, it's nearly straight, but there is a soft bend to it. My wrist is cocked up to help focus that pressure on the lateral head. It does get hard, so you gotta work through it there. I did it, there you go. Next we have an alternating dumbbell front raise. Feet are together again. You'll see a little bit of a bounce, and so you just wanna work and minimize that bounce as much as possible. See the rotation inward at the top of the lift. That's going to help contract that anterior delt just a little bit more. Now, once again, trying to keep that shoulder down. When you're at the top of the lift, you want to think about pressing down with your shoulder blade. Here we've got a little variation of rotation between a front raise coming around through a lateral raise. Really focus on resisting against gravity as you're coming down. Make that neck nice and long, putting some more pressure on both of those heads of the delt. Here we have a superset. So I'm just doing a seated overhead shoulder press, focusing on very consistent repetitions there, trying not to bounce either at the bottom or the top. A lot of people seem to jet into their lift. Now this is a variation of an upside down push-up. I like to put my knees on the bench, or if you want to go against a wall and actually do a full-on push-up, that would be fine. The biggest thing is, see how my chin is dipped? That's going to keep more pressure on the delt. If I were lifting my head, it would actually go into really high up on my chest. So focus on doing that. These get very hard. Just push through them. You're going to feel like you're going to die, and then try and get off there, okay? All right, here we have rear fly machine. I'm going to show you 3 different variations. So this is the first one. The other 2 will come in a little bit. So this one's just a neutral grip. Don't go past lateral. Focus on that posterior delt. Here we have a bent over, posterior delt raise. See how my elbows are pinned forward, and I'm really contracting at the top. Look at that full focus internally and mentally on contracting that. And then letting it down nice and slow. Once again, not bouncing. That's really critical, that you don't bounce at the bottom or the top, that we have controlled motion. This mind to muscle connection is what makes all the difference. So here I just stand up and I'm just giving it a little bit more gusto with higher or faster repetitions there. You can see I'm getting tired. But changing your tempos, that's going to be a really important thing when you're training your delts. Okay, here we have our second variation of rear flies on the machine. This is really high up. If you have rotator problems, be careful on this. You'll see I've really lightened the weight, and this is total mind to muscle connection, so make sure you're focusing on just squeezing with the posterior delts. You're going to hit a little bit of the lats there too. And here's our third variation. So here I have my chest up against the bench, my head is I'm going to change sides so that I'm making sure I train half of my reps with my head to the left, half my reps with them to the right. I'm grasping that outer handle so that it's training a little bit lower on the delts. And here we have our final burnout. So these are some lateral raises. I have a lighter weight, so those first ones were with my pinky up. See how my pinky is still up here, that rotation, and that paying attention to how gravity hits on your deltoid. That's really critical. So listen to your body and change those grips, change your angles, change the force, and you're going to see a great difference in your body. It's not about doing the perfect lift, it's about doing the perfect lift for your genetic coding, the way your body is built. These overhead flies are awesome for burning out those shoulders. And our final one here, you'll see I lean forward a little bit, trying to hit a little bit further back on the delt.